nada, seguimos en Juego de Tronos. Creo que vamos a reunirnos con Servalar. ¿Estos son soldados o son armaduras? Parecen armaduras. Aquí está el puto Valar.
Alistair, what are you doing here?
Va a ser que no.
Supposed to rot in the dungeons.
That is indeed what I feared, but the light of R'hllor guided my steps out.
Servalar, the Queen awaits your presence.
We shall meet again.
Sí, como que vamos a tener que trabajar juntos, cabeza polla.
Sooner than you think.
Pues me parece que aquí se ha acabado el capítulo. Sí, capítulo 5 de nuestros días. Godric Donnerly. Vale, ahora nos han dicho que John Arryn ha muerto. Y a ver qué pasa ahora. Habrá que seguir con la misión seguramente. Iremos a Villa Topo. Villa Prosti.
So, just like that, John Arryn was dead.
Unfortunately, I'm afraid it's true. The royal seal in the missive was still unbroken when the Raven arrived.
That would mean that he passed shortly after I left King's Landing. I will pray to the Seven that his soul receives the welcome it deserves. He was a great man.
In his letter, he mentioned being wary of those around him. He feared for his life and talked about enemies of the realm who were preparing to strike. A troubling coincidence. I'll wager it has something to do
Algo
with
que
the
ver con la
girl.
chica.
Who knows? In any case, he must have thought her very important.
Do you still hope to carry out your mission, Sir Donnelly?
Yes, I shall not betray my lord's last wish. I must finish carrying out his orders and find a safe place for the girl. Now that we have an idea of where she is, there is no need to trouble you any longer.
You underestimate the Mole's Town tunnels. They're quite a labyrinth.
Necesitaréis mi ayuda.
You'll need my expertise.
I would also prefer one of us to accompany you. I'd rather know what's going on in the gift.
Very well.
Muy bien.
I have a host of men waiting south of Castle Black on the way towards Molestown. I hope to meet with them and gather any news before proceeding. Jared, my lieutenant, will have warned my men of our arrival.
I'm counting on you, Moors. Report to me when you've finished your mission.
Yes, my lord.
We'll leave immediately. I just need to make sure
Las
of
cabezas de
one
todos.
last thing.
As you wish, sir.
Theomar! Dick! Vion! I shall accompany Sir Donnelly to Molestown. His camp is close by. I am counting on you to get there as soon as possible. You must ensure that peace is maintained at the
Pues
gift.
estoy hablando a mis
Very well,
hombres.
Moors.
Let us ride, sir. It's a long way to Molestown.
I'm right behind you.
Son mis hombres. Bien. Vale, todos para la misma misión. Pues vamos al lío. Villa Topo. Tu probabilidad de quite. Joder, morriñaza tengo, Dios.
John Arryn, dead. I still can't believe
Ese
it.
viejo zorro.
That lie old fox was tougher than Valerian steel.
Yes, it's unfortunate news, but I won't let it interfere with the mission he assigned. I think we're close. My men would have set up camp in the area.
Mil duros a que los han matado a todos. Vamos, pero fijísimo. Dinero, bien. Ya se ve humo negro. Ah, vale, pues sí que tiene un campamento al fin y al cabo. Vamos a ver qué hay por aquí. Por aquí sí era Villa Topo. Sí, así que vamos a ir primero aquí, sí, sí. Pasa, soldados. Ando de luces. Vengo a robaros. Digo... Qué buenas nuevas traéis. Y os robo. Nuevas buenas os robo. Robar. Exacto.
Sir Donnelly, did everything go well in Castle Black?
All is well. As we had hoped, the Night's Watch is here to help us. I gave Sir Westford the missive I have here. He knows where to find the girl. What's going on here? Let me hear your report.
We were able to position some men here and scout the area. The region seems safe.
We're in Night's Watch territory. The lands are obviously well protected.
Of course, my lord. Jared passed this way. He took some men with him to scout the village south of here.
I never promised such a thing. Jared forgets who gives the orders here. I'll make sure to remind him in due time. We'll continue our journey, Sir Westford. Let's go towards Molestown, where we'll probably find Jared.
Villa
Robot,
Topo.
stay in your position and await my return.
Robar.
As you wish, sir.
Tampoco es que hubiese una burrada de soldados por aquí, pero bueno. No son más de 10. Lobos guargos. A ver si aquí hay algo que pueda pillar con el perruco, sí. ¿Y cómo llego ahí? Espada, ándala. Ándale. Ándale. A ver. Espada antigua 20, 23, Fange. ¿Y dónde está la espada? Ándala. Mantima, aquí está, vale. Bien. A ver. 79, 75, 70. 270, nada. Nada y nada. Bueno, pues sigamos a Villa Topo. Villa Topo.
You know something. Spill it before I
Te
smash your
sabes algo.
teeth onto the floor.
Please, I beg you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Es imagen simple mercader.
I'm but a simple traveling merchant.
Enough, Jared.
What? Oh. It's you, Sir Godfrey.
Me da que es un
This
traidor.
peasant refuses to answer my questions.
Leave him alone.
You can leave.
Very well, my lord. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
haven't finished with him.
Yes, you have. No one tortures the people of the gift without good reason.
And you'll do what? Hang me like you did my brother? Try
¿Ves
it.
qué risa?
I could use
What?
a laugh.
Hold your tongue. Believe me, if I felt like killing you,
No necesitaría una
need of a
baboon.
noose.
No one talks to me this way, especially not a crow from that damned wall.
Shut your mouth, Jared. You disgrace us when you speak to Sir Westford that way. Silence!
Bet.
Return to
Silence,
camp
I
and await me
kill you.
there. Sir Westford, his behavior is unacceptable. I offer my most humble apologies.
Just make sure he doesn't delay us.
I'll keep an eye on him. How do you plan on finding the girl?
John Arryn's letter mentions the whores at the brothel.
Empezaremos por
We'll start
el...
there.
Do you think they'll talk?
The Night's Watch is in charge around here. I've had a few dealings with the local madam before, when sworn brothers found their way to her establishment. If she knows something, I'll soon find out.
The hamlet seems tiny. We'll have gone through it in no time.
Don't let yourself be fooled. The mole's town is much bigger than it seems. More than 3/4 of the town is underground.
Bajo
The
tierra.
underground tunnels were dug by several generations of people. Living below the surface protects them from the cold. And in the midst of the tunnels is the whorehouse. I'm sure that's where we'll find the
El
girl.
mega burdel
This much
topil.
was clear in the letter.
I see. So she's hidden among the whores. Few would think to look for her there. Lord John Arryn certainly was a diligent man.
Pues vamos pa Villa Topo. La bella y la bestia.
I don't know what I shall do. Leave with us. There's work in the south.
Farolillos rojos. Ya sabéis lo que significa. Ay, ay. Túneles de Villa Topo. Jaja, aquí está el burdelaco. Oh Dios, qué fea es la...
My castle's big enough for all of you.
En mi castillo hay sitio para todos. Hostia, qué grande. Aquí hay una de estas azules, pero no sé si es aquí o arriba. Vaya, yo soy la limpiadora, amigues. Soy la limpiadora. Yo vengo a limpiar, amigos, no hablo idioma vuestro. Yo solo limpio. Solo limpio, sí. Dormitorio principal de Villa Topo.
Do any of you want?
Lomi. Mula. Lomi y mula. A ver qué tienes tú para... basurilla, basurilla. Estas también, pero no tengo pasta para pillarlas. No tiene nada que sea pesado. Espada derivada, 84. Vale. Pues comencemos a charlar con la gente de por aquí. Sibel.
Well, well, if it isn't the great Moors
Qué guapa eres, hija mía.
hero of Castle Black, what can I do for you, handsome?
Dios.
Join me in my chambers, and I'll show you what a real woman can do.
The day the wall collapses.
El día que se dé.
Charms you So, what are you here for? Come to take your lost crows home?
Guay, ¿cuál
Or
vas
to brought in
aquí?
a new boy? I believe his name is Patrick.
Patrick.
They're in the back. Do with them what you will. But no brawling in my establishment.
No, I'm not here for pleasure. I'm looking for a girl.
Then you're here for the same reason as everyone else. What is your pleasure?
Hábil con la lengua.
Fair hair? Brown hair? Dancers? A girl skilled with her tongue?
Tell me, Sybil, when was the last time a newcomer turned up at
Villa
Moorstown?
Topo.
I don't know. Quite a while ago. Why?
Because I've heard that a girl recently arrived in town. A young
Una
woman
joven que
fleeing.
huía.
What was she fleeing from?
The kind of danger that would force someone to hide out in a remote place like Molestown. Men who want to kill her at any cost, for instance.
And she meant to hide here until the world had forgotten about her?
That's right.
But what did she do?
I don't know. But I hope to find her before those other men do.
I would like to help you, but I'm afraid I've not seen your mystery girl. If a Southern
La
girl had
chica
turned up,
sureña.
I think I would have known.
I never said she was Southern.
Baboon, ya te he pillado.
Well, I just assumed
Te
that.
acabo de pillar.
Anyway, if you came here just to ask me foolish questions, I must request that you leave. I've a business to run.
Listen, Sybil. This girl is in considerable danger. I believe that the men chasing her may have been involved in the death of the king's
Toma, ya
hand.
te ha
The king's
saltado.
hand was assassinated. Moors, you must be joking.
When have you ever known me to be joking? If these people were powerful enough to assassinate the king's hand, it won't be difficult for them to track her here.
Well, what would you do if you found her?
The king's hand wanted this girl protected. I'm here to
Estoy
make
aquí
sure
para
that
asegurarme de
happens.
que así sea.
I'm sure I can protect her better than you and your girls can.
Very well. I know that you're a man of honor.
Lo soy.
I hope I don't regret this decision. The girl's name is Jane Greystone. She's been hiding here for some time.
I thank you for your trust, Sybil. Now, where is the girl?
She's in one of my rooms, downstairs. Go down the stairs.
No te vas a hacerle daño,
It's the
pero
last
¿por qué
door
más
in the
toma
line.
chula?
But don't you dare hurt her.
Don't worry. I'm here to protect her. Thank you for your help.
Bien.
Any of you want to say come into my castle?
Lomi.
Oh, my lord, thanks for helping me earlier. Without you, I would have lost a few teeth back there.
Pues dame
What closer
dinero.
you two? Take a look at our selection of wares. The mule will show them to you.
Who gave you
Amula.
permission to speak to me?
Oh, I beg your pardon, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I just wanted to help the knights.
Listen, peddler. Some of the wildlings I confronted just recently were armed with steel blades.
La habéis robado
That seemed a
vosotros.
bit strange, because wildlings do
O
not
ellos la
forge
han
steel,
oh.
so these weapons must come from our side of the wall. And then I happen upon your travelling shop here.
I've nothing to do with that, my lord. I would never do such a thing.
Honor de
I
mercader.
have my merchant's honor to uphold.
That's right, and you do well to remember that. You can stay 1 or 2 more days to sell the locals what they need. Nothing more. When you're finished, go back to the south. If I hear that you've strayed further north, or have
Iré a por
overstayed
ti.
your welcome, I'll find you.
Yes, my lord. I swear. I'll leave as soon as I'm done.
Patrick, aquí están los guardias de la noche. ¿Qué hacéis aquí?
Why, it's Moors. I wasn't expecting to meet you here.
Would you shut up?
Tesoros
You've taken
enterrados.
your vows so recently, your words still hang in the air, Patrick.
Please, Moors, you know the Lord Commander turns a blind eye to this sort of thing. Just look at the poor bugger. All of your fellow watchmen are dead. You know how it is. He needs to pick up his spirits.
I can speak for myself, Balder.
Cállate, cachorro.
I don't know much about you, Patrick. I
Un
hear
contrabandista.
you used to be into smuggling.
I don't really want to talk about that, Moors.
Don't be shy, you're amongst brothers here. You've probably seen plenty of interesting things in your life.
Cuéntanos, sí.
First of all, I was not a smuggler.
Weren't your crimes what led you to take the black?
Very well. If you really want to know, like half the men at the wall, I was once a farmer, with fertile lands and a family. Then one day, I lost everything. I was out hunting for stag, and when I returned home, there was nothing but smouldering ruins left. The wildlings were raiding along the coast, and it led them right to my home. My wife, she wasn't the type to let herself be pushed around by anyone. If you saw what they did to her...
Pobrecilla.
7 hells. Every last one of those wildling monsters deserves to die.
All I had left was my warhammer. I found it while marching with the Starks during the rebellion. All I could do was take my boat and follow the scum across the Bay of Sea.
La Bahía de las
Once I
Focas.
got to the other side of the wall, it was easier than I'd expected. They probably thought they were out of harm's way, and they were careless. They didn't even try to cover their tracks. When I finally caught up with them, it was dark out. The swine were getting drunk on what they'd stolen from me.
Se los cargó a martillazos.
I waited for my moment. After a while, most of them could no longer stand. And that's when I went for them. First, I killed the watchman. But then one of their men saw me and cried out. It became a bloodbath. The drink had made them slow of foot and awkward. It made it easy for me.
Joder, me rollo.
I don't know how long the killing lasted. When it was over, I was covered in blood, wounds.
Seguramente los salvarían los hermanos y
I said to
se...
myself, Pat, you're a dead man. Might as well let the cold take you. I let myself drift off. When I opened my eyes, I was in Castle Black. I had been picked up by rangers who'd discovered the camp. It took me a month to heal. In that time, I was accused of everything by the Brothers of the Night's Watch. Smuggling, being a wildling, and I just couldn't convince otherwise. So, as soon as I was able to walk again, I was given the choice. Take the black, or the noose.
You suffered an injustice, but you had the right of it to join us, brother.
Ah, tienes una
You
familia.
have a new family now.
La que murió da igual.
I didn't know a killer like you was one of our recruits.
Aquí
What
va.
about you, Walder? How did you get to the wall?
Let me think about it for a minute. Where to begin?
A ver. Joder.
I think I know what you want to talk about.
Say nothing, Moors. You'll spoil the surprise.
Esta pedazo
You
de
see my
sorpresa.
necklace, Patrick? The High Septon gave it to me personally.
The Eye Septon? The head of the Faith of the Seven? You must be joking.
I swear it's true.
He's right, but I'm not sure you really
A
want
ver
to
lo
hear
que
the
dice.
story.
On the contrary, I would like to hear it.
Very well. I had a simple, humble, and poor life, like you, Patrick. Much like any other peasant in the Seven
Que no te
Kingdoms,
atrás ahí
you
en
might
plan,
say.
hey, hey.
I had a wife, Shori. She was delicate and buxom, always
Entradita en
smiling,
carne.
a good woman. Never complained without good reason. She was devoted to the Seven and always ready to aid her neighbor. The best day in my life was the day she agreed to marry me. But all good things come to an end. She fell ill.
Oh,
while I was a
pobrecillo.
child. I sold everything to pay for her treatment. My livestock, my fields, and even my home. All that only to be sold false remedies by swindlers preying on my love. When I finally figured out what they were doing, I pounced on
Se
two
los
of
cargó
my
a
filthy
todos.
whoresons and gave them what they deserved. I beat them bloody and took my time over it too.
You chose your destiny, as we did
Elegiste tu
ours.
I
destino.
wasn't expecting that from you, Walder. I'd mistaken you for a skilled thief.
It would have been better if I was. I probably wouldn't be here now. I spent 20 years of my life protecting this piece of ice. And unlike you, if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't.
So that's when they caught you.
No, let me finish. Shuri held out until the end of her pregnancy, so that the child could survive. She suffered more than I imagined possible.
Me
The
estoy
day she went
asando de
into
calor,
labor,
tío.
I was alone with her. Giving birth to our daughter was too much strain. It killed her. I buried her that same day. I wanted a better life for my little girl, a different life. I swore by the Seven that she wouldn't end up like her mother, that she would only have the best. The following day I left home carrying what was left of my possessions on my back to baptize my little girl into the faith. I walked for more than 3 weeks, feeding my little girl as I could and praying each day that she would survive. I eventually reached King's Landing. I knelt before the wondrous gold and crystal dome of the Great Sept. Once inside, an old Septon welcomed me. I told him my story. I confessed everything. He listened attentively. I cried on his shoulder, and he comforted me with soothing words. Afterwards, he took my daughter in for observation. He asked a servant to bring him some goat's milk, and that's when I understood. That old man wasn't just a Septon.
El Gran Septon.
He was the High Septon himself.
Really?
Yes. He said if I handed myself in to the king's justice, they would take care of my daughter. He would personally ensure that she'd have a good life.
And you gave yourself up? Just like that?
That's right. I gave them my little girl and handed myself over to the king's justice. When they brought me in, the High Septon personally gave me this necklace. For me, it represents my absolution.
Quite a story.
Yeah, I suppose so. But yours wasn't too bad.
Morris no creo que cuente la suya.
Every sworn brother has his tale to tell, and none of them are enviable.
What about you, Morse? Why did you come to the wall?
I can't talk now, Patrick.
Oh.
I have affairs to attend to. I must go. I'll turn a blind eye this time, but don't linger here too much longer.
We'll have another round and then we're off, I promise.
Sí, sí, otra ronda de practice. Cocinero. Bueno, la vamos a dejar aquí. Babum, babum. Y ya seguiremos en el siguiente vídeo. Hasta luego, hi hi.